Hey guys, how are you? Herb Palmer Jr., Lobster Lab Media. We're out here in one of my favorite towns, Marshtown. And guess what? Marshtown is the home of the Revolution. George Washington stayed here about a couple hundred years ago. So we might as well have another revolution, a nice one this time, you know?
Yeah, without violence.
Without any violence, right? So I'm hanging out with my buddy Robert Kendarjian, Dr. Kendarjian,
Right.
you know. Hey Robert.
How are you?
How are you? So we're going to talk about a hard topic today, right? Or a deep topic, right?
Deep topic.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go deep because everything's too superficial these
Exactly.
days. So, what is the deep topic today? Well, there's a lot of bad stuff going around us.
Yes, there is.
And so how do we get around it? I think we'll have to take it to the spiritual level because we're not going to discuss politics and economics today, right?
No, you can get up that on the news.
Yeah. So we'll do the, yeah, exactly. You could watch the news for that. So we'll take it to the spiritual level. The spiritual level means we will have to pray. Okay, but I want to be very specific with that. So what does it mean to pray? Now, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There are a lot of people who are abusing power. Now, whoever they may be, one group thinks X is abusing power, another group thinks Y is abusing power.
And they forget to look up to see who's really pushing both the strings and pulling all the buttons.
So we're not gonna look at who's really abusing power, who it is. But let's just suppose whoever it is abusing power, what we want to do is we want to pray that they reconnect to their
heart
divine self, their heart self.
Right. Because they have no compassion.
Because they're disconnected from who they are.
Right. Who they really are.
Right. They forgot who they really are. You know, they are really divine beings.
Right.
But they forgot who they really are.
Yep. I got chills, God chills when you said that.
I like those God chills.
Yeah. It's the confirmation.
So that's it. Okay. It doesn't mean we don't take action.
Right. Because prayer with action. Because if you just pray, I mean that you have to pray, connect, and then take your action, whatever that may be. You know, so do not just do nothing. So it has to do with speaking out.
Yes.
You know, whatever that may be, right?
But non-violent action.
Of course. Yeah.
Civil disobedience. People should start reading Henry David Thoreau's essay on civil disobedience.
Yeah, or Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. Gandhi. You know, those were all adopted from Thoreau's civil disobedience.
Ah, okay.
And we take action through civil disobedience.
Because we have billions of people on the planet, not the few controllers. We have way more of us.
Can you imagine billions of people
in heart consciousness?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine millions of people going into prayer for those who are abusing power?
Yeah.
Pray for them, and
create it as already complete.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine that it's done.
It's already complete.
Yeah. Meaning that the results are out there.
Exactly. They've already been completed. It's just not in the physical form yet.
Yes. Yes. That's very good. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Every now and then I have a good idea, right?
More often than you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one part. You know, one part is to really go into the spiritual dimension and address it from a spiritual perspective.
Yes.
And like you said, take the action, but keep it in the area. Keep
your heart center. Keep your vibration high.
Yeah.
Don't go into the fear vibration. The fear is the control vibration.
Right. That's really important. You know, those who are not connected to their faith are going to really suffer during these times of COVID, and because we're living in complete uncertainty. We've never been this uncertain. We've never really lived this in the unknown. Globally, that is.
Exactly.
Like we've never really been in the unknown before to this degree. It's almost like being in an elevator and you don't know what floor you're going to land on.
Right. And hopefully the elevator doesn't break and it brings you right to the bottom.
It's like you're in the elevator and you don't know what floor you're going to land on. So we're really living in the unknown. So what's important here? Faith. And it's either faith or fear.
And heart center. Because if you're in heart center, then your faith is there.
Yes.
Right? But when you're not in your heart center, it's harder to connect to faith.
Yeah, we seem to coming back to that faith and to the heart center.
Yeah.
So that's really the key.
So you could be walking through the chaos and still be centered and still be okay.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. we do not have to collapse. We do not have to break down and have
we don't
mental breakdowns or have emotional breakdowns.
Because if people, so many people are, their reality is attached to their stuff. My $1 million mansion, my Ferrari. So my reality is what I have, not who I am.
Right. If our reality is connected to the divine within us,
right, then it doesn't matter what we have or have not.
Because we'll be fine.
Exactly.
We'll be fine.
And that's a hard lesson for a lot of people because they identify with who they are, what they have, you know, and you're not what you have. We're way deeper than that as spiritual beings.
Yes, and so it kind of confirms that what we really need to approach this from a spiritual dimension.
Yeah.
More than the political, the economic, and
that's all just the distractions, really. You know.
Good.
Cool. So this is one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
This is the original Alfred Vail building. He was the first president of AT&T. He built this mansion and he passed away before he ever got to live in it.
And when was it built? Around?
Oh my God, at the turn of the century. Okay. And then the town had it for a while. It was the police station and the court system. Right. Actually had to go to court here once for something. You know, I don't remember what it was, but now they redid the marble. It's a high-end restaurant and there's like $40 million condos on each side. It's the coolest thing ever. They have the reflection pond. I mean, it's just a beautiful property. And look at how big the property is.
Let's take a look at the reflection.
Yeah, absolutely. Because ultimately, right, we're really looking back at our own reflection, our own stuff to heal, right?
Let's reflect.
Exactly.
Especially in a reflection,
exactly.
Right? Oh, this is beautiful.
Isn't it nice?
This is really beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
It's like neoclassical style.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Right? Can you imagine being
it's a restaurant now?
Yeah, it's high end. So the restaurant bar, secondary restaurant, and then the bottom part that was the jail is now the wine cellar and pub. And that's where I was. That wasn't a wine cellar and pub when I was there.
A wine cellar.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I think it's called Jockey Hollow. But yeah, this is the main building, and then they recreated the same style for the condos on each side. And like I said, I think there are 1 million plus for the condos. There's like 40 of them.
Yes,
so they put millions and millions and millions into the property. And one day when I finally make it, I'd love to have a place there.
All right.
Right? And not in the pub.
Not in the cellar.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So anything else you wanna talk? I mean, that's kind of it, right?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
It's like you got to go deep.
Yeah,
you know, you got to look at your stuff because it's coming up. Your stuff's coming up. You can't hide from your stuff anymore.
And it's the personal stuff's coming up as well as the global stuff.
Yep.
And those who live with faith will be fine.
Right. And those who are in fear might have some challenges.
Yes, they're going to have greater challenges.
Right.
And what we're whatever is happening here is actually for our greater evolution.
Absolutely.
But we don't see it right now.
Right. No, because we're in the midst of the chaos.
Right. It's like giving birth. You know. When we're giving birth to something, there's a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
But once the birthing process is completed, there's joy.
Yeah.
And this birthing process could take a while. Could take years.
Yep.
Could take a couple of years. But eventually it's going to take us to a place of greater evolution, and that is what counts.
Absolutely. All right. Now, if they absolutely. And Robert, so how do they get in touch with you if they wanted some more information or maybe a personal consultation?
My website is drrobertheals.com. HEALS. drrobertheals.com.
Okay. And again, it's Herb Palmer Jr., Lobster Lab Media. You can find me on YouTube, Lobster Lab Media. And thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be able to push out more content for you.
Thank you for listening.
And this was one of the advanced classes.
Oh, yes.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Bye.